Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet these cute little baby bonnets with the flower in the back. So these bonnets can be made in size 0 to 6 months and 6 to 12 months, and instructions on how to make each size are included in the video and written pattern. So for these bonnets you will need a 4mm crochet hook and DK weight yarn. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your baby bonnet, you want to start off by making a magic circle. So to do a magic circle, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once. And you then want to wrap the yarn back over your finger to create a cross, like that. You then want to take your crochet hook and go underneath the first loop of the cross, and you may need to pull it up a little bit, but go underneath this first loop, and then using your crochet hook, pick up the second loop of the cross and pull it through. And you can then take your finger out, and there we have a magic circle, and we are ready to move on to round 1. So to begin round 1, you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. This just locks our magic circle into place. So now we are going to do 1 double crochet down into the magic circle. So yarn over and go down into the magic circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into the magic circle, and now chain 1. And we are going to do that set of stitches 8 times in total for round 1. So we're going to do 8 sets of double crochet and then chain 1. So there we have done our first set. So now we are going to do our second. So do a double crochet into the magic circle and then chain 1. So there we have our second set, and now do your third, like that, and keep going until you have 8 sets of double crochet and then chain 1. I have finished working that, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets and chain 1s. And now to finish off round 1, we need to close up our magic circle and join. So to close up your magic circle, you want to take this end or this tail here and simply pull it nice and tight. So pull it as tight as you can, and that will close up the magic circle. And then to join, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that you worked. So here is the first double crochet, and go down into this stitch and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So work a slip stitch. And now we are ready to move on to round 2. So to begin round 2, we are going to go into this chain 1 space, so the chain 1 space right after the double crochet that we just worked a slip stitch into, and we are going to do a slip stitch. So go into this next chain 1 space here and yarn over and pull through both loops. So work a slip stitch, and this just takes you to the chain 1 space, and now you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now we are going to go down into that chain 1 space, and we are going to work a stitch called 5 double crochets together. So when we do 5 double crochets together, we do 5 double crochets all into this space here, but we are not going to complete either of them, and then we're going to complete all 5 together at the same time. So we're effectively turning 5 stitches into 1. And when we do that, we are going to be creating the little petals of our flower. So you want to yarn over and go down into the chain 1 space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there we have started our first double crochet, but we are not going to complete that stitch. We're going to move on to the next one. Yarn over, go down into the same space, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So there we have started our second double crochet, but we're not going to complete this one either, and we're going to move on to the third one. So yarn over, go down into the space, pull up a loop and pull through 2 loops. So there we have our third incomplete double crochet, and now do your fourth one in the same way, and then finally a fifth. Yarn over, go down into the space, pull up a loop and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So there we have 5 incomplete double crochets, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, and you want to yarn over and pull through all 6. And there we have done 5 double crochets together into that space. And now you want to chain 4. Like that. So there we have chained 4, and we're going to repeat this all the way around for round 2 into every chain 1 space from last round. So here, 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 and there should be 8 of them. We are going to do 5 double crochets together and then chain 4. So yarn over and go right down into this next chain 1 space here. So we're going straight down into the chain 1 space and do 5 double crochets together. So do 5 incomplete double crochets all into the space. There's 3, 4, and 5, and you should have 6 loops on your hook and yarn over and pull through all 6. And now chain 4, 3, 4, and now we're going to do that again into this next chain 1 space here. So yarn over, go into the next chain 1 space, do 5 double crochets together, then chain 4. Like that, and just keep repeating this all the way around. Finished working that all the way around for round 2, and you can see that we have made our little flower. And now to finish off this round, we're going to do a slip stitch into the first set of 5 double crochets together that we worked. So here, go down into this stitch, so this is the first set, and it should be a sort of bigger stitch, and work a slip stitch like that. And now we are on to round 3. So to begin round 3, we're going to do a slip stitch into this next stitch here. So we just did a slip stitch here, and now we're going to go into the next stitch and work a slip stitch. And now you want to do a slip stitch into the first chain 4 space. So go into the chain 4 space and work a slip stitch, and that just takes us to this first chain space, which is where we need to be to begin round 3. So now you want to chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and we are going to do 4 double crochets down into this space. So yarn over, go down into the chain space and do 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now we are going to go to the next chain 4 space here, and we are going to do the same thing, 4 double crochets. So yarn over, go all the way into the next space and do 4 double crochets. Like that. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around for round 3. Into each chain space you want to do 4 double crochets. So here, 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 here and here, and there should be 8 in total. I have finished working that all the way around for round 3, and at the end of this round you should have 32 double crochets, and now you want to finish by working a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round. And now we are on to round 4. So to begin this round you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches. So yarn over, go down into this first stitch and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the second one and 1 into the third. So we have 3 double crochets, and then into this next stitch we are going to do 2 double crochets, both into this one. So yarn over, go into the next stitch and do 2 both into this stitch, like that. And we're going to repeat this all the way around for round 4. We're going to do 3 double crochets, then 2 into the next, then 3 double crochets and 2 into the next, and keep going all the way around. So do 3 double crochets, and then into this next one we're going to do 2, and just keep repeating that for round 4. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 4, and at the end of this round you should have 40 double crochets. And now finish off by doing a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round. And now we are on to round 5. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to do 4 double crochets to start. So go down into the first double crochet of the round and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the second one along, and then the third, and then the fourth. So there we have 4, 1 into each stitch, And now into the next stitch, we are going to do 2 double crochets, both into this one. Like that. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around for round 5. So this follows the same pattern as last round, but last round we did 3 double crochets and then 2 into the next, and this round we are doing 4 double crochets and then 2 into the next. So I have come to the end of round 5 and I have done a slip stitch into the first double crochet, and at the end of this round you should have 48 double crochets. And now we are on to round 6. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn. And this round follows the same pattern as last round, but in this round, instead of doing 4 double crochets and then 2 into the next, we are going to do 5 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So do 1 double crochet into each of the first 5 stitches. Like that. And now you want to do 2 double crochets both into this next one. And just continue this all the way around. 1 double crochet into 5 and then 2 into the next. So there we have come to the end of round 6, and at the end of this round you should have 56 double crochets. And now finish off with a slip stitch into the first double crochet that you worked. And now we are on to round 7. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and we are going to do 6 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next. So go down into the first stitch and do 1 double crochet and keep going until you have 6. There's 3, 4, 5 and 6. And now we're going to do 2 double crochets both into this next one, like that, and keep repeating that all the way around for round 7. So I have come to the end of round 7, and at the end of this round you should have 64 double crochets. And now we're going to finish off by doing a slip stitch into the first double crochet that we worked. And now we are on to the next round. So now if you were making this bonnet in size 0 to 6 months, then you do not want to work round 8. So I'm going to show round 8 in a second. And if you are working the smaller size, then you do not want to work round 8. Instead, you want to skip on to round 9. But if you are doing the larger size, so size 6 to 12 months, then you want to work round 8, which I will show you in a second, and then move on to round 9. So if you are making the smaller size, so 0 to 6 months, do not work round 8. You want to stop here at the end of round 7 and then move on to round 9. But if you are making the bigger size, then you will need to do one more increase round, which is round 8, and then move on to round 9. And that is how we create the different size bonnets. So this is the bigger bonnet. This is size 6 to 12 months, and this has an extra increase round. And then this is the smaller one. So this one is size 0 to 6 months. And for this one, you just stop at round 7 and then move on to round 9. So do not work round 8. So for those of you who are doing the larger size, to begin round 8, you want to chain 1 and turn. So chain 1 and turn. And we are going to do 7 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, all the way around for round 8. So do 7 double crochets. Like that. So there I have worked 7 double crochets, and then into this next stitch do 2 double crochets, both into this one, and just continue to work that all the way around for round 8. And remember, you should only be working this round if you are making size 6 to 12 months. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 8, and then to finish off you want to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet that you worked. And if you did work round 8, then at the end of this round you should have 72 double crochets. And now we are on to round 9. So to begin round 9 you want to chain 1 and turn. And now if you are doing the smaller size, so if you are doing size 0 to 6 months, then you now want to work 61 double crochets, or 1 double crochet into each of the next 61 stitches. And if you are doing the larger size, so size 6 to 12 months, then you want to do 1 double crochet into each of the next 69 stitches. So for the smaller size it's 61, and then for the bigger size it is 69. So we're going to do 1 double crochet into the first stitch here, and then 1 into the next, and 1 into the next, and keep going all the way around until you either have 61 or 69. So I have come to the end of round 9, so I have worked those double crochets around, and no matter what size you are doing, you should have 3 stitches left at the end, so 1, 2 and 3, and we're now ready to move on to round 10. So for the next part of our bonnet, we are just going to work simple rounds of double crochet. So to begin every round, you want to chain 1 and turn, and then we're just going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So you should work your final double crochet into this last stitch at the end, and then repeat that again. Chain 1 and turn, and do 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and that is going to give us this section here. So this section, and as we are not working slip stitches at the end of each round, and we have these 3 empty stitches here, it gives us our opening. So here on this finished bonnet, you can see the 3 stitches that are not worked into in round 9, and then we have just our plain rounds of double crochet, so 1 double crochet into each stitch. And if you were doing the smaller size, so size 0 to 6 months, then you want to do 6 rounds of plain double crochet, so 6 rounds of chain 1 and turn, and 1 double crochet into each stitch. And if you are doing the bigger size, so size 6 to 12 months, then you want to do 7 rounds, so 7 rounds of chain 1 and turn, and 1 double crochet into each stitch. So keep working rounds of plain double crochet. So now once you have done all of those rounds of plain double crochet, you want to go ahead and add the cute little border at the end to match the flower. And now I haven't worked all of my rounds of plain double crochet, I have just done one here for the sake of the tutorial, but before you add the border at the end, make sure that you have either done 6 or 7 rounds of plain double crochet, and then we can begin the border. So to start off, you want to chain 1 and turn to begin the border, and we are going to do a double crochet down into this first stitch here. So do 1 double crochet into this first stitch, and then you want to chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So we're going to chain 1 and skip this next stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to do 5 double crochets together, so just like we did down here for the flower. So yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 5 incomplete double crochets, 3, 4 and 5, and you do 5 incomplete double crochets all into that same stitch, and you should have 6 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull through all 6. And now we're going to repeat that all the way along. So we're going to repeat chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then 5 double crochets together into the next stitch all the way along for the border. So chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then do 5 double crochets together into the next one. Like that, and then repeat that again. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and do 5 double crochets together into the next. And you just want to keep repeating that all the way along, and that will create this cute little border at the edge. And then when you come to the end of the round, when you get to the last 2 stitches, so you want to do chain 1, skip the next stitch, 5 double crochets together, and then when you have just 2 stitches left, you want to chain 1, skip the second to last stitch, and then do 1 double crochet into the very last stitch at the edge, and that will give you a nice neat straight edge on this side as well. So that is how you create your border. And then once you have finished that round, you want to go ahead and create your first tie. And for the ties, I chained 60, but you could chain 50, 60, 70, 80. It's completely up to you. Make sure that they're not too long, as this is for a baby. But I chained 60 and then fastened off. So pulled my yarn out under my hook and cut my yarn. And then I just made a little tie and then weaved that end up into the chain to finish. And then you want to attach your yarn into the opposite side and make a chain of the same length, nice and neat, and then do the same thing. Fasten off, make a knot, and then weave that end into the inside. And you can then weave all of your ends nice and securely into the inside of your bonnet. And before you weave in this end here from the magic circle, make sure that you pull it nice and tight to close up the flower. And there we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. And in the description box below this video, I will leave a link to where you can find the written pattern for this bonnet. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts. So I always like to post updates and pictures on there, especially Instagram. And I would love to see photos of your crochet work on there as well. And thank you again for watching. Bye.